Welcome to The Energized Hairdresser, the wellness podcast for stylists who are ready to stop running on empty and start fueling their body, mind, and business with energy that actually lasts. I'm your host, Ashley Jo Gillen, certified health coach and lifelong hairdresser with over 20 plus years behind the chair. Here we blend salon life with practical nutrition, wellness, and mindset coaching designed for real demands of stylist life. Each episode gives you simple tools you can use between clients, honest conversations about the industry, and encouragement you need to take care of you so you can show up energized, confident, and balanced behind the chair. If you're tired of running on caffeine and chaos, you are in the right place. All right, let's get into today's episode. All right, welcome back to the Energized Hairdresser. Happy Monday, or happy whatever day it is that you're listening here. I'm feeling it. I'm excited. I'm excited for today's episode because it just kind of reiterates this clarity and direction that I have as a coach for hairdressers, and I'm excited to get into it. So today we're going to talk about how summer's like only 8 weeks long, and we're going to make those weeks count, okay? And then the balance between mom life, life behind the chair, and how you can hopefully reframe some thoughts you are having and to get more out of your workday and to compartmentalize a little differently. So here we are. We got school's out, your calendar. You might be feeling a specific way about your calendar. There's activities. There's 4th of July. There's summer barbecues. Let's kind of think about where we are in our season and how do you want to experience this summertime, and not to let another summer go by where you're like, man, I just worked my life away, or I just was so exhausted because of work that I just didn't feel like I really enjoyed anything. So summer moves fast. Like 8 weeks is really not that much time. And I say 8 weeks because 2 weeks, well, when was it? What is today? Well, the end of May, I was like, holy cow. I was looking at rebooking somebody and I was like, that's like the end of July. It's like, geez, that's crazy. Because I typically book out either like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. A lot of people are like 8 weeks just because that's just what we do. So anyway, and I'm thinking, okay, the intention of this episode is to help you walk away with a plan as to how you want to think about your summertime. And I know like we're right into it, like we're jumping in to summer here. We're learning together as far as supporting you, the life of the hairdresser. So, like summer often feels like it can be survival. You got kids at home, you're juggling kids, work, maybe your team is like wanting to take some breaks. Everyone wants to take a vacation. So how do you do this without losing your mind? And how do you do this without feeling like, okay, well, I'm giving to my family, or I'm letting my team down, or I'm giving to my team, but I feel like my kids are just on a tablet the whole time. There is the guilt. That guilt spiral is so common, and the feeling like you should be more present with everything. I should be more present with work. I should be more present with my kids. I should be more diligent in my workouts. We're shooting on ourselves so much that it's okay to like potentially pick a lane and pour your energy into one area, and the other areas, maybe it's time to put those on autopilot. If we're hustling in every direction, is any direction really going to excel? So this could potentially just be like, and it's also too, if you think about it, it's just like one client cycle, because in the next few weeks, like the school system that I'm in, they go back August 7th. So this is really a good time for you to like kind of think about maybe when you might want to beef up your books. And like by that, I mean, I've already decided, okay, that last week of July, first week of August, I might add an extra day just because I want to give value and get specific people in, the teachers that might want to come, get their hair done before they go back to work, go back to school, the kids that, I have a few families. So, I might add a few extra days in there and then I'm going to pick those now. So then when the end of the season comes, I'm not scrambling, you know. So, okay, that's just some things. So if we're thinking, okay, I'm going to rest when things slow down, life doesn't really slow down. I feel like life is speeding up. Tell me I'm wrong, but I just do not think that life is slowing down. It's constant, whether it's vacation or a long weekend or sports or we do this like once a week. I take my kids to the ranch, so we start that on Tuesdays and I'm just like, ooh, plus driving and it just doesn't slow down. One of my clients, but literally there is like summer gym for these kids. 7 to 8, they do weights. And then, my daughter's in volleyball and then she's practicing for this. And then, another client, her kid does soccer and tennis. So it's like, oh, they have tennis practice at this time. And then they have basketball practice at this time. And it's like, where in the world are these kids supposed to rest? I will not get on my tangent anymore about that, but I have strong opinions about how busy we keep our children. But that's not the point of this episode. The point of this episode is to calm your mind down. And I was just getting on a rant there. Anyway, so we're going to learn how to protect our energy because that is a business strategy. Being a depleted stylist, you're going to lose that creativity. You're going to lose that patience with clients and the passion for your craft. So one question to ask yourself is at the end of the summer, what do I want to have felt? What do I want to experience? What does future me want to accomplish this summer? And how do we want to do that? Because thinking about the things that you want to do intentionally kind of removes the pressure. So, and these are my thoughts, but I don't think our children need to be entertained at all times. And let's start with our kids, okay? Because with children, I'm in my third year of homeschooling, and I am currently in a moment where I'm strongly considering sending them to school in the fall. Like my daughter's in public school, but my twins are going to be 11. I've shared on this podcast, between my podcast and content planning and meal prepping, working behind the chair and working out, my time is full. Scrubbing some bathrooms in there. My calendar's pretty good. So I'm like, okay, if I put them in school, that would clearly give me a whole different set of struggles. Right now I'm struggling against the calendar and time but putting them in school, you're adding a whole different set of struggles. So anyway, the point is, in my experience, learning how to do everything with my kids, I remember them being young and I was so I was a single mom. My work was different. And I also had a team. I had employees. I had a team of people. So it's like I had to work differently when they were younger. And when I started homeschooling them out, I did not know how to do anything with them around. So a couple things to take into this episode, with you, is it's okay to involve your kids into the flow of your life. They got to go to the store, bring them to the store. What I do is I'm a huge fan of Walmart Plus. So it's like one of my kids pushes the cart, another one runs around like a crazy monkey. Just kidding. No, not really. And the other one will grab the items. Another one will scan. I bring them along with me. My children have chores. My boys, they have to empty their bins. They have to do reading. We're doing some school throughout the summer anyway. They're in charge of loading up the van before we go to sports games, getting their water bottles ready, putting their clothes away. I give my kids jobs. Now, they balk at it for a couple of weeks, but it is good for them to do things. If your children are with you in the salon, they can come along and they can work. They can be cleaning out color bowls. They can be sweeping up floors. They can especially they can be doing some stuff. That's my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion as far as like the involvement of their kids, but it's just like the reframe is there, just knowing that it's not going to be done exactly how you would have done it, but it's okay. They're learning how to do things. I think by having my kids with me all the time, they're observing how often the trash needs to be taken out. They're observing how often, like, we do dishes. They're like, Mom, you're doing dishes again? We just unloaded this dishwasher. I'm like, I know. So it's just like kind of learning the flow of life. If I put them in school, like, oh gosh, we're not even gonna talk about that. So that's a couple of things you could do for your kids. If your kids are in the salon with you, establishing some rules before you even go. Okay, hey, like I've said this before, like I give them like overviews. I would say, hey, this is our week. We have the ranch on Tuesday. We have baseball Monday night or Tuesday, Thursday night. Brother has a game Monday night, Wednesday night. Great. What do we want for dinner? I ask my family what they want for dinner because why should we have to do all of that? If they say, I don't know, they say, let's try again. Let's try that differently. Or I'll ask another question. I'll say, well, if you could think of something, what would you want to have? And it might take a few things for them to get into, but now they're really helpful when it comes to helping me plan a menu. My husband will be like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right, well, let's try that again, honey. The burden of the home, especially in this day of age, it shouldn't just be on one part, like one person. Like you don't have to do everything. Like let's get our family involved and let's just kind of muddle through it because it doesn't have to be this like picture perfect. Everyone's doing it joyously. No, everyone will be complaining. Everyone will not like it. People will say, I don't know. And then we can like ask some follow-up questions. So if this is like, as I'm talking and this is bringing up questions for you, like I would love to dialogue, especially as you're trying to get your family involved. My boys, like, I have them switch over the washer dryer. Like, I like to fold laundry, but like, I have them help me with laundry. And then they have bins they have to take up to their bedrooms. So, thinking of ways that you can get your kid involved and know that for a little bit of time, it's going to be awkward, but we're going to persevere and then the flow will happen. Okay, so there's a little bit of home life. I your question that you need to ask. Like, for your home, what is it that you want to experience? And then what will your priorities be? Maybe your priorities are we're going to spend it's sometimes it's like quality time, not quantity of time. Sometimes it's quantity of time, and maybe it's not like rainbows and unicorns. It's not like I don't think we have to keep our kids busy all the time. I could be alone in that thought, but my boys, like, we could go do something fun, and 5 seconds later, they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do next? What are we gonna do next?" And I say, "You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. Like, we have a yard, you have toys, you're gonna go find something to do." And then I want to say I'm very like, I'm strict about how much YouTube time they have or how much tablet time. I give them 1 hour a fortnight a day, and then when it comes to YouTube, I don't like who my children are after an excessive amount of YouTube watching. I will say while I'm at work, because I work inside my house, they're probably watching YouTube all darn day. And I'm just like, okay, do I love it? No. Does it bother me enough to like change things or no, like, and I hope they're learning like ebbs and flows. You could also kind of factor into like how often do you want to have family meals? When is bedtime going to be? When is wake up time going to be? Okay. These are ways for you to drive the bus, not feel like the bus is taken off without you and going, what the heck is going on? Okay. So those are a couple ways to think about this summer and hopefully help you find a little bit of flow. The goal is a good flow. It doesn't have to be a rigid schedule. As much as I would say I'm going to scrub my bathrooms on Tuesday at 9, as much as I would love to say that I'm going to go grocery shopping all the time, like my life is rhythms, not structured. I'm very much type B, learning to function type A. Like, how many nights a week do you want to have dinner? How many meals do you want to make? Like, there's so many options, but just getting really clear on what you want, I think, is what's going to help you have a little less chaos going on. Okay. So, the second part of this is our work life. So, we've kind of talked a little bit about our home life, mainly how to do life with kids around a little bit more. All right. So, the second part of this is let's talk about your work schedule around days off, entertaining your children, sticking to your work schedule a little bit more. So, anyway, when are you going to take a vacation? If you have not booked a vacation yet, maybe you won't take a vacation until fall break. That's fine. Go ahead and get it in your salon calendar. Maybe you're not taking a vacation this fall. Maybe you take vacations in the spring. But think about when your family's going to go somewhere because you deserve to take a vacation. Everyone else gets a vacation, but you deserve that. All right. So, however, and I'm going to give you a full disclosure around this. When it comes to booking a vacation, I will give myself grace when it comes to like how much I work before vacation and after. Now, this has taken some time in my life. But I am no longer like killing myself before vacation and after. You know what I mean? Like excessive working before vacation. You know what I mean? And then, well, I got to get these people in after. I try to like space that out a little bit. So if I already look at my schedule now at the end of July, like I'm pretty much booked. So I will choose to work more the last week of July, specific people in before school starts. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. However, there's that vacation like push where you're going to add a few extra clients in, but like do that with intention. You get to pick to say, and like if you can't get somebody in, it's okay. Yeah. All right. There might be like some money, but is money worth extreme fatigue? Like, is money more valuable than like total burnout? I don't know. I really don't know. And if we don't know our bottom line as far as like, well, I got to make this money and we don't know like how much we're bringing in and how much is going out, like, then that's a different conversation. Okay. So you can like, you could say you have holes in your book, right? You could say, hey, I'm taking like, this would be a great email blast to say, hey, vacations this week. If anyone wants to get in this time, like I'm booking June and July. Right. Or, you you could put that on your Instagram notes, like, "I'll be out this week. Let's get your color in before this time." Okay? And then we're pre-booking our regulars for around that time. And, like, if you are staring at your vacation schedule and you're like, "I am not available that week," that's okay. That can be a total whole sentence. "I'll be out that week. I'm going on vacation. Let's get you in before or after." And you get to decide how much that is, like how much you're working. Don't just not 6 days of 12-hour days. Like that's no. Or 6 days after of 12-hour days. We're not doing that either. Okay. You have to make sure you protect yourself and how much you're going to be like working. So another thing we could batching social media. I would really love to know how many people in my community are actively building a clientele versus not, because it's not that you're not taking new people. It's just that you're like not taking new people. And there's controversy of whether or not we want to say like taking new clients, not take new clients. Like I'm not taking new clients. I'm just making it really challenging for them to figure out how to get in. So if you are actively trying to like grow your business or be aware on social media, we could schedule out those social media posts in advance. Okay. We can set your office hours, like your email, your booking app. on vacation. I don't even think you can do that. Like, you can set your email, like, out of the office, you know. You could write down, like, what are the 3 things you wanna accomplish with your business over the summer, and then you just do those things. That's it. We're gonna, like, if we get ideas, I need to redo my branding colors. Oh, I need a new logo. We're gonna put that away. We're not redoing our business over the summer. We're enjoying the summer. Okay? That's a project or maintenance. I think in business, there's maintenance, there's doing the things that you have to do, and then there's projects where you're like figuring out your employee handbook, or you're, dialing in a new retail line, or you're going to figure out new color. That's a project. And that takes time, energy, and scheduling. We don't have to do that over the summer. Okay. You could say, I'm going to get the tried and true colors that I know. We don't need to learn anything new right now, per se. You see where I'm going with that? Like, it's taken me a long time to learn. All right, that's just maintenance for my business versus that's a whole thing that needs time and structure. So, writing down your top 3 things to handle in your business, put those on autopilot, and you can get real good at running your business, working on your business. Okay. Also, when you write them down, they're not like rolling around in your head all day long. Okay. Also, too, you want to factor in like prep days on your vacation. Factor in the day before you go on vacation, you're not working, and the day after, you're not working. You need time to catch up on laundry. You need time to go to the grocery store. You need time to like settle back in at home before you jump right back into work. Do not do that to yourself. If you're that busy, if you cannot do that, then we need to talk through that and figure out some different strategies, because you also are running a household. You're also taking care of children. You're also trying to feed your body so you don't feel like you're dying, because you need to eat, like, you need to make sure you have food. You're going to save yourself more time in the long run by giving yourself some space and trying to cram everything in. I hope that that lands, but I would just want that concept to like resonate. Okay, so then we're going to talk a little bit about our health. Summer, there's never not a time in life where there's not going to be a sugar infested, that sounds so gross, a sugar bomb waiting to happen. Okay. Again, I've talked a little bit about all or something. And if that's a new concept for you, it's most of the time we live in an all or nothing world. I'm gonna binge out, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and then Monday I'm gonna get back on the train. Learning how to let that thought pattern go is huge, and it can be all or something instead of all or nothing. So when it comes to summertime and your health and how you feed yourself, and like, let's meet us where we are. I'm going to take this summertime and really develop the habit of getting a really great breakfast in. I'm going to take this summer and give a really good habit of taking snacks to work, right? I'm going to save money this summer and do a really good job by bringing my lunch. Doesn't matter what that lunch is, you're going to bring your lunch, right? So that means you're going to have to plan that out and prep it at home. But by giving you permission to do it imperfectly, I think it's going to help build a better habit and a routine and show that you can be consistent. So also too, like, I posted last week about like, this is kind of goes in your map it out. Like, once a week, I map everything out. Like, where does everyone need to be? What do I need to accomplish? What needs to happen? And we map that out. And then you can it's out of your brain. You don't have to worry about it anymore in terms of what you have to focus on. That then you just have to do it. Got to do the hard part of doing it, but still, like, once you know what you're supposed to be doing, when you do it, then okay, well, I know what I'm having for dinner. What are those ingredients? If you're having buffalo chicken pasta for dinner, okay, well, what does that need? What do you need? Well, I need noodles, I need chicken, I need buffalo sauce, I need ranch dressing. Maybe you need that recipe and I'll give it to you, okay? So there's just freedom in this all or something, and I really want this community to learn that because it's life-changing. Okay. Some things to like help you make the most of these next 8 weeks is like we can let go of this Pinterest of like picture perfect summer, which your Pinterest and my Pinterest might look totally different. It's just like, let's just make it intentional. Future me is already planning 4th of July because every year I'm like, I'm going to go watch fireworks. And by the time 4th of July shows up, I'm like, I have to leave my house. My husband and I went on a date last night, like impromptu date night. Like I worked all day yesterday. I took a nap when I was done. I literally woke up from a nap, like fixed my bangs, and we went out. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're out. What are you doing? Like, it's good to see you." And I realized I'm a little bit of a recluse and I never leave my house. And I like that. I like it a lot. I spent a lot of time at leaving my house in my 20s and 30s. And now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, well, I live my life at home. Okay. So intentional. We're going to go see fireworks. That's what we're going to do. So, okay, making the most of your summer. We just need an intentional one. What are you guys going to do? What's your 4th of July plans? Just think of the things, right? We go down to the creek once, maybe 2 times a month. That's activity, all right? We're very active in our church community. There's summer soccer, and it's like one of the things we do for fun is we stay the whole soccer game because on Sundays I'm like ready to get home. I got to record my podcast. Like I got to meal prep, right? I got things to do, but we'll kind of compromise and it's like, well, we can stay this day. Okay? Pick one thing a week. Here's like some framework. One thing a week that fills your cup and your children's cup. Maybe a day trip, a dinner outside, having a pool day. You and your mom friends like meet with your kiddos at the pool, having a slow Saturday morning where you're like, you know what? It's summertime. I'm not going to work that Saturday. If you look at your books right now and you're like, well, no one's booked on Saturday, July 20th. Guess what day I'm taking off? Saturday, July 20th. So you get to have a day. So you got to put it on the calendar just like your client's appointments. It doesn't happen if it's not scheduled. Be intentional. How do you want to spend your time? And you get to go do it. Okay. So you can have a summer bucket list for as a working mom. Beach day, lake day, even half a day counts. Okay. A meal outside with no phones or just and having conversation. Maybe it's family game night on the picnic table. Okay. Maybe it's family movie night. Like, do not undervalue just things at home that you could do with your kiddos just because it's quality time. Like, they'll love that. Yeah. And, a morning where you sleep in and you don't apologize for it. This counts. You're allowed to do this. Okay. Something that's for you. So simple things you can just finding joy in your everyday life, I think is my life's mission to observe the blessings that I've been given and just appreciate those because learning how to slow down, learning how to be intentional is a great way to regulate your nervous system and your body needs connection. Human beings need love, safety, and belonging. So they need to have connection, which is a part of the belonging as a core principle. Like that's what humans need. We need to kind of think about your pre-vacation prep, kids at home survival, picking one thing a week. Okay. Also, too, if you find that you're like, I'm drowning, I'm so tired of doing this career alone, I need a community where I can just feed my soul, come check out the Energized Hairdresser School community. It's on an app called School, it's free. And I'm in there. My goal is to be able to have deeper conversations than just what's on the podcast. Or maybe you listen to this podcast and you're like, I want to ask questions. Every Wednesday, it's like, ask me anything as a way to like get some feedback, get some guidance, get some clarity of so you're not like spiraling on things over and over and over again. Okay. So Next week, we're going to talk about the mental load hairdressers carry and like some tools to help you put some of that down. I'm very excited about this because this mental load is heavy. All right. So thanks for tuning in. I hope to see each of you in the school room. One day I'm going to think of a cute little nickname to call us. Time will tell. We'll see you on the next one.